with exclusive live coverage of the 1997 State Fair Parade. Now your hosts, Howard Morgan and Diane Anderson.
Well, welcome to the 1997 State Fair Parade, and people are gathered here by the thousands along Central, and it's a beautiful day. I couldn't have ordered a better day, could I have?
I think you did really well, Howard, and we always appreciate your cooperation.
But you did bring that up last night. As you said, will it rain?
Well, we never wanted to rain on our parade.
No, not on our parade. Really, it's terrific here. We're sitting here in front of Russell's Gallery on Central between I think it's Wyoming and Louisiana. Courtesy of them, we have all of our equipment set up here to give you a pretty good look at what's going on. What a colorful group here. And the parade hasn't even started yet. It looks like floats all along here. How many people do you think are out there?
Oh, goodness, I don't know. I ran into a lot of them trying to get here this morning. That's always a challenge. It's bright and early Saturday morning. You think you're getting a jump on everyone, and when you get here, everybody's already here.
Not only that, but the city has done a great job, depending on your point of view, of blocking off the streets for the parade, which is good. Made it very, very difficult to drive into the area, but apparently all the people are here ready to go and the skies are clear. We should mention a program change, I think, that is important to you. Due to the coverage of Princess Diana's funeral, ABC's new Saturday morning schedule will not premiere today. Instead, you can see brand spanking new Doug from 11:30 to 12:30 today. And next Saturday, September 13th, you can see the premiere of Disney's 101 Dalmatians at 9 a.m., followed by the premiere of Disney's Jungle Cubs at 9:30. It's terrific kids programming.
It is, and everything is changed a little bit today because of the coverage of the funeral and the coverage of the State Fair Parade. We're glad to be here this morning. The parade in our mind kind of kicks off the fair, although it actually did start yesterday. Let's head on out to, the parade hasn't gotten to us yet, so let's head on out to the head of the parade where Kate Snow is out there among the crowds to tell us what we're going to see soon. Kate?
Diane and Howard, it's pretty loud out here. You can see all the fire trucks behind me. We're down at Chama and Central, just a little, almost to Louisiana, right where the parade is starting, basically. There's a lot of folks out here. I was surprised to see this many people. I found one over here, a family from Belen. We're going to talk with them just for a second. Hi there.
Hi.
What's your name?
Crystal Anderson.
And you're from Belen, right?
Yes.
You make a trip up here every year?
Yes.
Why?
Well, it's only one time a year, and it's the biggest parade of the year, so we like to come.
What's this little guy right here?
Calvin Lee Castillo.
Look at him. He's, what, 2 months old?
Yes.
So it's his first, I guess. His first parade.
Yes.
And you have another child here?
I have a 3-year-old.
Great. And what do you guys enjoy about the parade the most?
She likes the fire engines and the horses.
I can see that. She's waving furiously at the fire engines right now. Great. Well, you guys enjoy. What time did you get out here to get this spot? You're in a pretty prime location.
Probably about 8 o'clock.
Okay, well, that's not too bad.
No.
Great. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Enjoy it. Diane and Howard, there are really hundreds of people behind me, I'm sure you can see, and a lot of them have been out here for longer than we have been. I'll toss it back to you. The parade's coming your way.
Thank you, Kate. Kate Snow having a great time down there in the street talking to the people, talking to each other, talking about the parade and talking about the fair. By the way, the 1997 New Mexico State Fair will run from yesterday, Friday, September 5th, through Sunday, September 21st. The fairground gates open at 8 o'clock each morning, and the booths open at 9 o'clock. And I guess the food places open up maybe a little earlier than that.
I would hope so. They have the best stuff out there. All that stuff you shouldn't have, but you love.
Right, but the gates close each night at 11 p.m. So that's in general what it's all about today, the State Fair Parade. We say it kind of kicks open the State Fair, but the State Fair actually opened yesterday. But in general, the parade is always kind of a focal point of everybody getting in mood, getting into their Western garb, and coming in from all over the state. It's interesting how far people come, isn't it?
It is. We have one of the high points each year of the parade are the bands from all the different high schools around the state that have to get up really early or maybe even travel up the night before and spend the night here. And then also the sheriff's posses from just about every county in the state show up. And of course, they have to bring the horses and all their gear. It actually is amazing to me that every year it gets done.
It's really a tremendous undertaking. You just see the kids marching by and say, well, gee, that's all they did. They did a lot more than that. They've been practicing for months, and they've been getting all the gear together. And now we're looking down at the first elements of the parade as they come on in.
Looks like they're headed off this year by a trolley.
Oh, yeah, that's the
new.
Suntran trolley, which is going to carry the judges to the judging stand. And, trolleys have, I don't know, did you ever really ride a genuine trolley?
You know, I never did.
They're the most fun because it's one of the public transportation things you can get on while it's still moving and get off. Nobody cares whether you have any dignity or grace when you do it, just so you can
grab and hang on, huh?
It's kind of like the trolley went in San Francisco. They're still running that. And everybody just hangs on for dear life. But this one is moving very, very slow. And it looks like
the judges are coming off.
Are getting off there at the correct stop.
The judging stand is just a little ways down from us.
Yes,
and
we're looking at it right now.
Watching all of the different aspects of the parade when they come by and judging them on different things. And I think the theme this year, Back to the Country Yesteryears, so I'm sure they'll be looking to see how well the different floats fit that theme. And joining us now is John Garcia, who's the State Fair manager. How's it going, John?
Doing good. Hi, Diane.
You were just down there checking out the judges' booth. I see they're getting up on the stages now. What kind of things will the judges be looking for this year?
Well, they'll just be looking for, the float, how pretty it looks, and how they set it up, how much work they put into it, and really just a judgment call.
Do they judge anything other than the floats? Or the bands judged or anything else?
Yeah, they'll all be judged. There's a few categories for the bands and the floats, and then the horses, and then the marching bands as well.
Are there special prizes, John?
Yeah, I think it's more just a certificate, and they get some awards, just a recognition more than anything. Bragging rights. This is the biggest parade, all year, so it's a big deal.
Oh, any big changes at the fair this year that people should know?
Well, the big one is, of course, the admission fee, which really has been handled real well. I mean, people are accepting it well. And the only big change we have is the Winona concert. She'll be on before, of course, the rodeo.
All right, the fair is underway. And here comes the trolley, the Sunshine Trolley. They just dropped off the judges at the judging stand.
There are a couple of police officers right in front of the trolley on their bicycles, and they're pedaling very slowly.
It's the greatest innovation in security of the city that's ever happened.
I think it's a great idea.
They can get places where their vehicles can't. Okay, the old-time cars show. The Road Grand Marshal, is that Mail in Love in there?
I believe it is.
Of course, we got that very old model. Did we just miss that? An old model 1927 bus.
Suntran bus,
Yeah. Gee, it looks pretty good to me.
Yeah, it does.
These cars are older than I am.
There's the... Well, then me too. They're older than me too, Howard.
That's true. Mail in Love, Grand Marshal.
It's always an exciting thing to be the Grand Marshal, especially of a huge parade like this.
Yes, it is. And, of course, every parade must have horses. Beautiful horses.
And this one has more than most. This is the Honor Guard, the 804th Maintenance Company. Commander Carla S. Romero is coming up after that. There's the traditional sounds that start off the parade with all of the fire trucks, the Albuquerque Fire Department.
What would a parade be without flashing lights?
Now the horses even that you're seeing, they're part of the fire department too. We don't even think about that.
You don't. What function do the horses then do? Crowd control?
Probably. That would be the thing I would think. You can see that some of them have fire department on their chaps. Oh, and they're throwing out candy. That's the kids' favorite part of the parade, isn't it?
There you go. That's made it all worthwhile coming to see the State Fair Parade. Speaking of the fair itself, parking can or cannot be a problem, depending on your point of view. General parking, Monday through Friday, is $4. Weekends, it does go up to $6, as of course Saturday and Sunday. And there is preferred parking, costs $6, and $8 on the weekend, $6 Monday through Friday. Now, you can only make a right turn into the fairgrounds, so you have to plan your route accordingly.
That's something to remember, because I always forget that every year, and I go heading down San Pedro or Louisiana thinking I can just turn right in and have to make a big loop.
Diane, quick, count the spots in the Dalmatian.
101.
Very exactly. And here comes the Hazardous Response Hazmat Team, as we call it.
It says, meet Spider-Man at Coronado Center today. I better not tell my little boy about that.
Uh-oh. And
he's too young to read. Oh, there's Spider-Man right there on the track.
Yep.
He's our celebrity Grand Marshal today.
My little boy is waving
celebrity
his hand off right now.
That's great.
Spider-Man is the celebrity Grand Marshal, huh?
Yes, I think we have a few of them this year, but he's the first.
And more candy being thrown out. Oh, here comes our honor guard coming back now. Albuquerque Fire Department with all of their sirens running, flashing lights.
I'm always amazed at how many different fire trucks, styles and purposes, from the ladder truck to the ambulance to the hazmat crew.
By the way, just a note again on that parking, you mentioned turning right. You can avoid the whole parking hassle by using Park and Ride. On the west side, the buses will leave from near the Mervyn store. In northeast Albuquerque, the buses leave from the northwest corner of Coronado Mall. So there's plenty of parking there. Park and Ride costs only $1 for adults each way. 5 to 11 years old is only 50 cents. A child 4 or under rides free with each paid adult fare, and seniors and mobility impaired people can ride for 50 cents. So the cost is very, very minimal, and there's nothing to stop you from really getting to the fair. Plenty of parking or Park and Ride.
John, what do you think some of the highlights are at the fair this year?
Well, this year we have the spectaculars, and that's really a lot of fun. We have the white tigers, 15 white tigers, and they are so big, it's just incredible.
And you get to get up pretty close to them.
You get right up to them.
The cage is right there, or the big, I guess, arena-type cage.
Yes, and they're just beautiful. Also, we have the NBA Jam, which is a new spectacular this year, and then, of course, the Sky Coaster, and I'd like to see you on the Sky Coaster. The governor's going to be doing that later. So
now, I can see the governor do it. He's a kind of a thrill seeker in a sense. I heard something about a wax museum. Is there a wax museum?
Yes, there is a wax museum this year, and that's new. And it's just a lot of fun. I mean, we brought in a lot of new things this year. And, of course, the carnival, we got about 6 new carnival rides as well this year. So it'll be a lot of fun.
We have coming in view now, and we've just seen a brief glimpse of it, the Rio Rancho High School marching band.
And this is a brand new
This is new. This is an exciting time for Rio Rancho. The inaugural parade of the Rio Rancho High School Marching Ram Band.
You know, they probably haven't even had that much time to practice.
I don't think so. And there's a lot of them, 120. Most of them must have made up their mind very quickly to be in the band. 120-member band. It's comprised of freshmen, sophomores, juniors. And their band is really planning quite a trip this year. Trip scheduled to Boulder, Colorado, Las Cruces, New Mexico, Las Vegas, Nevada, and San Antonio, Texas this year. You see them right now as they're slowing down a little bit in front of the judges' stand.
Black uniforms. Now that's unusual. I don't think I've seen any solid black uniforms in years past, but of course when you're a brand new school you get the latest in fashion, right?
So this probably is the first view the public has seen of the Rio Rancho High School Band.
It's interesting hearing the kids talk about their new school. They're so excited about it. It has a lot of state-of-the-art features, and they're very, very proud of it.
As their banner says, Ram Pride. I know they're into the football season now. Got a lot of excitement.
Those are pretty spectacular helmets that they're wearing.
So let's take a moment here to listen to the sounds of the Rio Rancho Marching Band. Looking at a giant stagecoach. It's the Stagecoach Stop RV Resort, and it presents this year's main State Fair float.
And that was our State Fair Parade Queen, Shayla Aramuspi, and I understand she's from Clovis.
She should be out right there in front, right on the front of the stagecoach.
Giving us a big wave there. All right, we'll be back with more of our live coverage of the New Mexico State Fair Parade in just a moment, so stay with us. parade. We just saw the governor and first lady ride by on their horses. They pretty good riders.
He does pretty good. He likes to take on the challenges, you know.
Well, we've got a little bit of everything passing by our area right now.
Here comes
some older
Lobo,
vehicles,
Louie,
some
and
newer
Lucy.
vehicles, and a band coming up here. Probably the University of New Mexico Marching Band.
Lobo, Louie, and Lucy are another of the celebrity grand marshals this year. And right behind them is the UNM Spirit Squad.
Oh yes, the big game tonight.
Oh, the in-state rivalry.
Yes, UNM and the University of New Mexico and against the state, New Mexico State.
That's a familiar tune, isn't it? I think they're fired up for that big game and the parade.
They're beautiful.
Pretty excited bunch here.
I guess maybe having all the bands in from all over the state, you get a lot more people at the parade today because people have traveled up to come and be in the parade or watch the parade.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I hope they go to the game tonight and then come back to the fair afterwards.
That's a good idea.
Well, I believe this is the Bernalillo County, no, this might be the New Mexico Mounted Police Patrol. Sometimes from our viewpoint, we can't see as far ahead as the camera.
Right. The cameras are quite a bit, maybe half a block or so down in front of us, so they get a view before we do oftentimes.
I should mention the State Fair this year has an awful lot to offer in addition to the old favorites like Via Hispana and the Indian Village. Among the free activities there are, of course, the White Tiger Show, Space Expo 97. It's a hands-on exhibit where you can experience the thrill of space, and basketball fans will want to check out the new NBA Jam session.
Is that kind of tough? Have you tried that one yet, John?
The NBA
Jams?
Well, as short as I am, I don't do that well at basketball.
Well, I heard something about it has a bungee type rope that you can swing through.
The Sky Coaster.
Oh.
And I'll tell you what, it's scary, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, they have about 70 rides this year. And I guess the new ones are the Evolution, Chaos, and High Roller. The names are scary.
The names alone are scary.
I think that the black uniform horseman that you just saw a few minutes ago was the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Posse. How difficult is it, John, to get all these people lined up and ready to go down this parade route in order?
It's a good challenge. Yvonne Joyner has just done a great job putting this together. And they stage over there at the parking lot and then they get ready. It's really a nice event.
But there's not enough room over there for everybody.
Well, they use a lot of the parking lots on the grounds.
I think Kate Snow is down there in the street in the up at the front of the parade. Kate, what's going on down there?
Howard, I am right in the thick of it down here. Listen to this behind me. I can barely even talk over the top of it, but I can see what's coming your way up there. We got Mayor Chavez on the way, a couple more bands. I can't even hear myself. Let me go over here and visit with a little friend of mine I want you to meet. This is Vincent. Hey, Vincent. How old are you again?
6.
6 years old, and you've never been to the parade before, have you?
No.
What do you think of it?
It's pretty fun.
How come it's pretty fun?
Because it has a lot of stuff.
It has a lot of stuff. Very well put. There is a lot of stuff, Diane and Howard, coming your way. He's been watching the bands and all the things that have been passing us by here and having a lot of fun. He's been waving at every single person that goes by. You've been having a good time, haven't you, Vincent?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to continue with more of our live coverage of the State Fair Parade right after this.
We return live now to our coverage in KOAT-TV of the State Fair Parade. We're looking now at the Balud Abyad Shrine, Legion of Honor, the potentate and temple officers you see on your screen at this moment.
You know, this is one of the most extensive entries in the parade. There are so many members of the shrine, and they have so many different little facets and ways that they entertain and help in the community.
And I think the most important thing, it's the 75th year that the Shrine of North America has operated hospitals and burn institutes. They've treated more than 550,000 children since the first hospital opened in Shreveport, Louisiana in 1922. And there are now over 500 New Mexico children receiving treatments in their hospitals. So they're proud of their service to children, and it's provided at no cost to the children and their families. And
as you see them go by, too, notice that they all have different, slightly different uniforms.
Yes, the different units have different uniforms, and each one is wearing the uniform of their unit.
But they all have that fez, is that what
fez.
The fez, the little hat?
Very colorful. And did I just see a shrine clown go through there?
I think he's out there. There's probably several coming up.
Oh,
there he is.
This is the most exciting part of the parade, the clowns. Well, at least he gets to ride in the parade.
How about that guy?
Uncle Sam.
A lot of walking. That's a tall Uncle Sam.
Wow, and he's on wooden stilts, I think. He may be that tall, I'm not sure. I just love the clouds. Running in and out there, waving to the kids. A little bang, the noise going on up there in front of the judge's stand. The colors are absolutely amazing, really sparkling on this beautiful day.
I think that the shrine clowns have quite a knack for what they do. They've been entertaining children. A lot of them are sick children in the hospitals that they help.
And you know, it's strange to say it, but the clowns take their work seriously.
They do.
They really, they want to look just the part. They want to do well. They want to make kids happy. They want to make you laugh.
And they do it.
And they work hard at it, and they really get the job done. There's a happy one. Now that's the inflatable one, isn't it?
I think so.
Well,
he's down there in front of the judges.
We can assume it's blown up and there's nobody in it.
He's doing a pretty good job of walking in that thing.
I don't know, maybe it's one of both. Here comes a little train too.
This is the Loco Patrol train engine, and it appears in parades and provides transportation for the children when they see the doctors at outreach clinics.
All still part of the parade. That is the portion of the parade, the Balut Abiad Shrine, all of their different divisions, their units, the things that they do, and the various floats that they're in. And the local patrol train engine is here, coming right in front of us.
As we said, that helps transport the kids to hospitals. It probably makes the ride to what could be considered an unpleasant experience a little more fun for the kids.
I think that extra noise we see are these, what do we call these? Motorcycles? Tricycles with motors? Tri-rodders?
Tri-rodders, okay. And they're from Espanola. Where else?
Now, if I was going to be in a parade, I would want to ride one of those. Look at the fun they're having.
I can see you in one of those, Howard. In the garden.
Now that's an idea. Hitch a plow or cultivator to the back of it.
They're pretty good at maneuvering, though.
They're doing pretty good. The Balut Abiad Shrine doing a terrific job, not only in the parade, but in their work throughout the community.
I think they have more fun than the kids.
By the way, speaking of moving, there's racing at the Downs at Albuquerque at the State Fair every day during the fair's run, except Tuesday. On weekday, the first race is at 3. Weekends, that moves up to 1 o'clock. At Tingley Coliseum, Disney on Ice presents The Toy Story and runs through tomorrow evening. That should be terrific.
My kids went to see that last night with their aunt and uncle, and my little boy who's 4 loved it, but my little girl who's 2 said she was scared of Mr. Potato Head.
It's a big potato.
I guess.
Of course, Monday you can get rolling with a rodeo, and that's Rick Trevino is the first performer. The rodeo starts at 7:30 each night.
I'm going to be out there that night.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be fun.
Tuesday it's Ty England, Wednesday Winona, and Thursday the 11th Glenn Campbell takes the stage, and it should be quite a show this week.
And as you mentioned, John, Winona is going to perform
Before the rodeo.
before the rodeo.
And that's because she has a full stage production, and we're so glad to have her do that this year. She's a big draw.
So if you don't want to miss any of the performance, better get there on time.
Get there early, please.
We have a very miniature bullfight going on there in the lower right of our screen in front of the judges. I don't think either of them's going to win. I think that's the Town and Country 4-H Rodeo Club. It's a fairly new club.
We just saw the Rottweilers go by a moment ago. Pretty well-behaved dogs.
Oh, they're great. These are my neighbors as well, so we're glad to have them here. They do great with the dogs.
This I'm looking here, and it looks like a either a rodeo club or a 4-H club.
I think this is the Town and Country 4-H Rodeo Club, and they're showing off the different rodeo events on their float.
All right,
There's
now we can
look at
see him a
there.
little
You can
clearer.
see the bull rider.
However, that bull is pretty well restrained.
That's the way to ride a bull.
Town and Country 4-H Rodeo Club.
Dust yourself off, get back in the saddle, give it one more try. Spread the word, it takes all you got. 'Cause the road to heaven is a hell of a ride. Tough get going when the going gets rough, 'cause another night coming.
Oh, he just got bucked off, Howard.
Well, frankly, if that's the way if you ride a bull, I drew it that way. It's a lot safer. All right, another marching band coming in view here.
The 4-H group that we just saw go past, we forget how much a part of the fair the 4-Hers and the FFA groups from around the state are.
This is the Tohatchi High School Cougar Band. It's the 5th year they've been in the parade, but it's their first time in their new band uniforms.
They're beautiful.
We return now live to our coverage of the 1997 State Fair Parade.
And that was proof that we are live. Did you see that camera swinging around to get that next shot?
Well,
we just saw the Valley High School band go by, and they sounded awfully good in their bright white uniforms and their plumes.
Valley High School Marching Band. All right, the 1954 Mack Pumper, a vintage fire engine, should be coming up pretty soon. We're
Here's the
looking at
Valley.
some Valley Bikettes, though, first of all.
They won an NCA national title along with New Mexico State and other regional titles. The Valley Bikette float is for the New Mexico State Fair Parade, depicting a hillbilly country theme this year. And here comes another Dalmatian fire truck.
Every fire truck has to have a Dalmatian.
Especially a vintage one. This is a 1954 Mack Pumper.
Yeah, that saw service in Hanover, Pennsylvania, what, 1954? And it's, until this year, it was still in service in Bernalillo County, fully operational, but now is used mostly for public relations, fire prevention activities, parades, etc.
The Dalmatian that you see there is named Embers, 5 years old, and has appeared on the cover of Albuquerque Monthly. That's a cover dog.
Hey, that, I was going to say, the truck is in original condition, so is the dog.
I can tell he's a little bit of a ham. He's been on.
Ah, the West Las Vegas High School Band coming into view right now down central here in Albuquerque under totally blue skies.
Whenever possible, this band tries to perform in as many parades and things around the state as they can. They also try to perform Hispanic or Latin music at every opportunity.
The uniform, by the way, is the original traje, which is a representative of a gentleman of the nobility.
Let's listen.
The high school band and drill team, by the way, are under the direction of Kenneth Mattis and Linda Montoya.
We'd like to say goodbye quickly to John Garcia. We appreciate him coming out and taking time off on one of the busiest days of the fair to lend us a little bit of his expertise about what we can expect. Thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks, Diane.
Good luck on the 17-day run of the fair, John.
Great. Thank you, Howard.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Head of the parade, telling us what's coming up.
Diane and Howard, I'm down here at, let's see, Chama and Central, which is pretty close to Louisiana. We're pretty close to the beginning of the parade. It's a lot less loud than it was the last time you came to me, but still a lot going on behind us, as you can see. I was polling the crowd, and I was trying to find the person or the family that's come from furthest away. And in my little area here, the furthest I've found is from Mora, New Mexico, which is up, of course, between Taos and Las Vegas. How long of a drive is it from Mora?
About 170 miles.
And you came all the way down here just...
Yeah, this morning, yeah.
Why?
We just enjoy coming to the parade. We've come here for 21 years, and I've just enjoyed it since I was a baby, and I just remember it. You know, it's just a tradition for us.
You come down and stay for the fair?
Yeah, we come down pretty much every weekend, but, you know, for the 3 weekends in a row, but I enjoy it. It's not.
That's dedication. Tell us about some of the changes that you've seen over the 21 years you've been coming here.
It's gotten bigger, a lot more people, but it's pretty much the same thing. It's just, you know, it's the same throughout the years.
And you got a pretty good spot here, so I'll let you enjoy the rest of the parade. Diane and Howard, a lot more things coming your way. I'm sure you can see we got more bands coming up the street. I can just barely see you way up there. I'll toss it back to you.
Okay, thank you, Kate. We want to remind you of the program change, of course, due to coverage of Princess Diana's funeral. ABC's new Saturday morning schedule will not premiere today. Now, instead, you'll see brand spanking new Doug from the 11:30 to 12:30 of it, right after the parade today. And next Saturday, that's next Saturday now, September 13th, you can see the premiere of Disney's 101 Dalmatians at 9 a.m., followed by the premiere of Disney's Jungle Cubs at 9:30.
What you're seeing there is one of the float entries looking back to the country yesteryear, the Old Town Coffee House. It's a house structure built out of paper mache, has a living room setting. The walls are adorned with blown-up family portraits from yesteryear. It's a little hard to see because of the sun and the shade. The costumes were made from yesteryear attire. Now you're looking down the parade route again for more of the floats coming your way. Sunshine Generation has its Back to the Country sing-along as its theme. This entry will be decorated to reflect the theme of the parade, which is Back to the Country Yesteryear. It's loaded with balloons and lots of kids.
The parade, of course, is moving along Central from the Louisiana area on east to Wyoming. Sunshine Generation, kids singing for you. All right, Cinderella Magic coming up right behind there, the Yippee-I-O float.
Kids are getting an awfully early start at entertaining.
And of course, the Moriarty High School Pinto Band coming in view. There's a school with a lot of spirit and has had over the years. And it doesn't matter whether it's in athletics or academics, they really work together out there.
And we see them in this parade just about every year.
Moriarty, of course, about 28, 30 miles east of Albuquerque. Used to be the pinto bean capital of the world.
I bet they still got lots of good ones there.
They have the Pinto Bean Festival every year. 101 ways, I guess, to fix pinto beans.
A staple. Well, the band has 60 members this year, and it's under the direction of Christy Cordy. Assistant band director is James Malone. The flag instructor, Sarah Wave.
It's always interesting to see all the colorful band uniforms that are worn.
There's one of our parade princesses. That's Melody Smith, Miss Albuquerque Teen USA, riding in a 1927 Model T.
By the way, though, the Pinto Bean Fiesta is, of course, provided by the Colorado Chamber of Commerce, and it's a tribute to the bean farmers of the Estancia Valley. And it'll be the 11th annual Bean Fiesta. What's that saying? Have you been on Route 66? And we'll return to live coverage of the 1997 State Fair Parade in just a moment. Nice day here, blue skies for the parade, for the 1997 State Fair Parade.
Good job forecasting that there.
Oh, yes, well, I arranged it just this way. We're in front of Russell's Gallery, as we have been for the past few years. Thank them for this beautiful location right near to the judges' stand. And the parade is going very, very smoothly, and it really is looking good this year.
It is. There are 163 entries. That's a lot of horses, bands, and cars to corral, but they're doing a good job of it.
We're looking at the Jicarilla Veterans group here that is coming on by. Jicarilla Indian Reservation in northeastern New Mexico.
The crowd seems very enthusiastic about the parade this year.
And there's been a very good crowd today, colorful crowd with all their balloons. It's kind of interesting to see the vendors go up and down. And you see a balloon, then all of a sudden it disappears, and the next time you see it, a child has it. This is the Trisco Elementary Dance Troupe. We should mention that many things are happening at the rodeo this year. The first performer, I believe, is Rick Trevino. That's Monday. 7:30 each night the rodeo starts, and then Tuesday it's Ty England. Wednesday Winona, as we understand, will perform before the rodeo on that night. And then Thursday the 11th, Glenn Campbell, who's certainly been in Albuquerque before, takes the stage. On the 12th, it's Terry Clark after the rodeo. A week from tonight, it'll be Randy Travis. They got some great performers this year. On the 14th is Hispanic Heritage Day with La Mafia. And the country continues on the 15th with Willie Nelson and family. And on the 16th, Tracy Lawrence turns out. So you've got a lot of good things to see. On the 16th, Tracy Lawrence. And it just goes on and on and on. Lots to see at the State Fair.
I'm going to be out on the 13th to see Randy Travis, and several of our Action 7 News team will be out on different nights to help Tony Lynn for KRST. Not that he needs any help, but we're going to get to go out there and help him introduce the rodeo talent. I think it's just an excuse for us to go watch the rodeo.
I was going to say, who's performing what?
It'll be fun, though.
Old Timer Queens from Magdalena. Magdalena over on the old Route 60 going west out of Socorro.
This is a reunion of the Queens riding on the wagons. Tia Gutierrez and 6 past old timers are with her court this year. Their driver is Tony Trujillo. The Queens, by the way, on that float have to be 60 years or older.
There's a beautiful crown. That is really well made.
And their theme, Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever, going along with the parade theme of back to the country yesteryear.
Is this the way they really dressed years ago? I'm asking you, Diana.
Beats me. Looks like it to me. There you can see our cameraman. That's how we get all those great shots right out there on the parade route as the flags and the bands just pass right past him. It's Richard Estrada and Tracy Armenter.
The Zuni Pueblo Band is coming up here now. And the Zuni Pueblo, of course, south of Gallup in western New Mexico. It's a community band composed of musicians from the Zuni Pueblo tribe. It's self-supported and did recently establish a booster club to assist the band. They wear the traditional Zuni men's style dress that is adorned with this beautiful Zuni jewelry. They've always enjoyed playing the traditional marches from composers like John Philip Sousa.
Which are difficult marches to play.
They are, and the band has performed at their own Zuni Fair, the Gallup Intertribal Indian Ceremonial, the Fiesta Bowl, the Sun Bowl, and the New Mexico State Fair Parade. They've really gotten around, and people really enjoy seeing and hearing them. They've had the privilege of being the honor band for the New Mexico State Fair Parade for several consecutive years.
That band leader's got a smile from ear to ear. He's having a good time. Walking with his mules on his way to Vicorio Peak to find Doc Noss's lost Spanish gold mine. His mules are Simon and Minimite.
I don't think anyone's ever found that gold mine.
Well, I guess Zeke's going to go look anyway.
Well, what have we got here? Happy group of, I think it's a jug band float.
Oh, boy.
The Holy Angel Senior Band, a group of seniors between the ages of 68 to 84 that play and sing old-time gospel music. It says here old-time costumes. I've seen a lot of people dressed that way.
That's true.
All right, we'll return to live coverage of the 1997 State Fair Parade after these messages. Well, here we are live once again at the 1997 State Fair Parade. Lots of flags, lots of floats, and lots of people, lots of bands marching on through. This is the Del Norte. Let me see if I got this right. Yes.
It is the Del Norte Air Force Junior ROTC. Been around for 25 years.
Wow, since 1975.
And during that time, over 3,000 cadets have completed that 4-year course, where they're taught about military service.
You know, getting to the fair shouldn't be too much of a problem this year. Of course, parking is always a problem, but you can avoid the whole hassle of parking by using Park and Ride. Now, on the west side, when you come to the fair, just the buses themselves will leave from near the Mervyn store. That's on the west side, the Mervyn store. Now, in northeast Albuquerque, the buses leave from northwest corner of Coronado Mall, and the Park and Ride costs only $1 for adults each way. And 5 to 11 years old is only 50 cents, and a child 4 or under, of course, rides free with each paid adult fare. Seniors and mobility impaired people can ride for 50 cents. So Park and Ride is there for your convenience, and it is kind of fun to take the bus for a change.
All that racket is from the Isleta Police and from the Algodones Volunteer Fire Department.
All right, another marching band coming our way from West Mesa. West Mesa High School Band. They began working, 3 weeks before school, starting for their part in the State Fair Parade?
6:15 in the morning every day. They get out and do their percussion rehearsals, and then the rest of the band joins at 6:40. That's awfully early for teenagers.
It really is, and to start before school.
Right. Great percussion. You know, the State Fair Midway has nearly 70 rides this year, and a lot of them are the old favorites, but they'll have some new ones to check out too. The Evolution, the Chaos, the High Roller. It's a little hard to describe what they are, so you'll just have to go out and take a look at all their topsy-turvy moves.
This, of course, is the West Mesa Navy Junior ROTC, commanded by Lieutenant Commander Damon Runyon. It's a 28th year continuous operation.
Good showing today by West Mesa. They've had a lot of people in this parade.
And it shows that it's designed to build citizenship and pride in the community, as well as develop leadership skills. And speak about leaderships, Kate, what are you leading down there?
Well, we're actually we've got the Lion, the Tin Man, Dorothy, where are they? The Scarecrow over on the other side. How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
This is the Lion. You need a little courage, I guess. You got enough courage to be out here, though, on a hot Saturday morning?
I guess so.
How's that outfit? Is it a little hot?
Oh, it's burning.
Why did you get roped into this, I guess?
Well, we had auditions at our school, and I wanted to be the Lion because he's my favorite.
Great. Well, have a great time. We'll toss it back up to you. You're going to see them in about, 3 minutes, I guess. Howard and Diane?
Thanks,
All right.
Kate.
Thank you, Kate. Reminder of the many, many things. If you haven't been to the fair ever, several regions like the Villa Hispania, that you have the charm of New Mexico's oldest cultures and food and music. The Indian Village, of course, the smell of fry bread and the kiva ovens are burning there, the dancing, the rhythm of the drums, beautiful. Western Heritage Square will take you back into the spirit of the Old West. There's the petting zoo. You can pet everything from kangaroos to walruses. White tigers will have these special events. The Space Expo 97, the NBA Jam Session, the State Fair Racing. There's a lot to see, a lot to do, and a lot to enjoy when you go to the State Fair this year. Always the greatest show in New Mexico.
You're seeing the Ernie Pyle Clowns. These are 6th, 7th, and 8th graders from Ernie Pyle School. They volunteer for many community events, and last year they won 2nd place in the New Mexico Quality of Education Awards. I saw this group at that award luncheon, and they had all of these stuffy business people, as we are, rolling.
They're doing a terrific job. They're having a ball out there.
They'll probably grow up to be shrine clowns.
Yeah, that's the time to start.
They hope to attend the national convention in St. Louis this year. I hope they get to do so.
Parades always have a little bit of everything, from marching bands to clowns to horses, and now we're looking at the marching dance group from Holloman. Holloman Air Force Base, sponsored by the Holloman Youth Center Director Ed White, managed and instructed by the Matrix Banks. The group is only 1 year old and has competed in performance in this area. The group will dance, that is, dance the entire parade route instead of marching. Now that takes energy. Who needs aerobic classes after this? Holloman Air Force Base marching. We can't call this a marching dance group, a dancing march group.
That sounds better. Dancing march group.
They are dancing. I don't know, would we be about halfway in the parade route here?
I would think we're probably getting close to it.
So their energy is still pretty well up.
I bet their moms are smiling because they're going to.
Until tonight, when they come home dog tired.
It's good. Put them to bed early.
Holloman Marching Dance Group.
You know, one of the things that you were talking about earlier, the petting zoo out at the fair.
Yes.
And we were talking about all the midway rides. They actually have a special section out there for small kids, which is something I know about because I have a couple of little ones, and even they're not big enough to go on the big rides, and they get a little.
That's right. We keep talking about these big super rides and the big things, but really there are certain areas just for little kids.
They call it Kitty Kingdom, I think, and they're building the big Lego castle there. I know the kids will enjoy that.
We had that on our news last night. I think that quite completed it. I don't know how many thousands of pieces go into that.
And if you guess them, I think you win some kind of prize. Then also there's another favorite for the kids is the FFA Red Barn, and it just has all the normal farm animals that a lot of our city kids don't get a chance to see very often. And then the petting zoo this year has the baby tigers or baby lions, I think. I don't remember which one, but they're really cute. And a kangaroo and a Watusi and a lot of goats and things like that the kids can feed and pet.
It's interesting to watch the little kids when they come up and they look scared to death until the baby animal, which is what it is, forgets it's not an animal, forgets it's not a human, comes up and tries to kiss the child. It's really cute.
Got another of their mini sheriff's posses coming up down the parade route. This one's from Rio Arriba County.
From Rio Arriba, up north, the Sheriff's Posse Search and Rescue Group. The posse promotes county pride and goodwill, and they do assist. They really work at search and rescue throughout the state and Colorado. They're up there along northern New Mexico, so it's not a far piece into Colorado where they're sometimes needed very much.
I say this every year, but I'm always interested to see the different maneuvers that the horses do in the Sheriff's Posse.
Well, you know, we take it for granted that they're controlling these horses just for the parade, but this is a skill they know and know well.
But it's, even though a horse that has, or you and the horse have practiced this maneuver, when you bring them out in front of all these people, kids are waving their arms and balloons are flying around and there's color and movements everywhere. It takes a very well-trained horse, a very disciplined horse and rider to be able to do this along a parade
And of course they use that skill when they do go out and search and rescue, and that's very, very important. Hey, don't forget now, you can see brand spanking new Doug from 11:30 to 12:30 today on ABC immediately following our 1997 State Fair Parade. By the way, the fair, of course, runs right through September 21st, so there's plenty of time to get in and see all the exhibits. The gates open at 8 in the morning, the booths open at 9. The gates do close each night at 11 p.m.
fair, and I've heard lots of stories about kids who've gotten lost, you know, just gotten separated. There's so much going on, and everybody's looking out and looking around and looking up, and all of a sudden one of you is missing. They have a thing out there inside Gate 1 on the south side where you can get a free identification bracelet for your child's wrist. It's called the Tag Your Tots booth. And if your child then gets lost or separated from you, it'll be easier for the security guards to find you and to get you back with you.
I was going to say, the kids aren't lost, they just don't know where their parents
That's
are.
right.
And if they're tagged, by it really helps. This has been a feature of the fair for quite a few years.
So it might be one of the first stops that you'll want to make once you get inside the fairgrounds.
By the way, of course, unusual animals can be seen at the fair, such as the white tigers. Visitors can, as we mentioned, pet, feed, and get the pictures taken with the exotic animals at the petting zoo. All right, what are we looking at here?
I think this is the Estancia High School Drama Club, and they're presenting an 1880s turn-of-the-century melodrama.
Drama Club from Estancia High.
To encourage everyone to come out to the fair. Here comes another of our bands.
Rio Grande High School Marching Band. Red and white are their colors.
The pride of the South Valley, the Raven Pride Band. They're active in many of the parades and field competitions and festivals throughout the school year.
This year's edition of the band is led by drum majors Reina Cedillo and Lawrence Lovato. The band is directed by Mr. Rudy Galindo and is assisted by Mr. Jacob Chavez. Now there's energy. I know we've mentioned the Space Expo 97. It's a hands-on interactive exhibit that gives visitors a chance to experience the thrill of space. You'll see that at the fair. It's an inflatable planetarium. Focus of the event with a 10-minute program simulating the night sky by projecting over 3,000 stars. Did you ever count the stars?
I wouldn't even try.
Well, they got 3,000 of them here. Visitors can see an actual spacesuit, an authentic moon rock, and a scale model of the Mars micro rover Sojourner. He keeps bumping into rocks, though. I guess he likes it. It's a free exhibit now, Space Expo 97, located on the southwest corner of Heritage Avenue and Main Street. Golden Regiment, Cibola High School.
Cibola High School is proud to be part of the State Fair, they say, this year. The band will be competing at the Sun Bowl Parade in El Paso and also at Disney World in Orlando, Florida this year. Cibola's band has won several state championships and has appeared as the honor band at the New Mexico Music Educators All-State Festival.
That sound you hear in the background is the witch from The Wizard of Oz.
We've got Dorothy and the Tin Man, the Scarecrow and the Lion.
goes one marching band. Let's see if Kate has got another marching band for us down at the beginning of the parade. Kate, how are you doing out there?
Howard, I'm doing great. Actually, no marching bands in sight, but the guy that you're looking at here is a buddy I just met a minute ago because I was so hot, and he graciously offered me a bunch of Tang, some juice, some orange juice. What kind of burrito you got going on there?
I got a egg with chorizo.
Oh,
Chorizo
yum.
egg burrito.
You got an extra one of those for me?
I sure do right here.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm prepared. There you go. Go ahead.
Great,
Go ahead.
thanks. Hey, how long have you been out here?
Oh, for about a couple hours now.
Well, you come out pretty frequently. You said you're from Albuquerque,
Yes,
right?
from Albuquerque, and we come out every year to see this. As my daughter Brianna was 6, she's 6 now. We've been coming since.
What? Why? What's the big attraction?
It's just something nice to see everybody get together with smiles on their face, not just everybody in a bad attitude. Everybody seems to be real happy and enjoying themselves, and that's what we're doing here also.
That's wonderful. Great. Thanks so much for joining us. We're going to go back up to Howard and Diane, who are up the street. Howard?
Thank you, Kate. It's kind of nice to get down there the street there and talk to people firsthand. Our kind of view is like a bird's eye view, and we can see coming into view another marching band. By the way, speaking of events, while the band comes into view, the sports people will really love the State Fair with the ultimate basketball experience with a Sprite Playground at NBA Jam Session. That's an NBA memorabilia and life-size images of NBA players that surround a playground of slam dunking, sharp-shooting fun. Some of the events include the bungee run, where fans attached to bungee cords attempt to pass the ball through a life-size NBA players before the cord snaps them back. Oh, that sounds terrific.
I can see you out there doing that, Howard.
I don't know about that. And then the Sprite Basket Bug Buzzer Beater. I can't even say that twice. Try that again. Basket Bug Buzzer Beater. A race against the clock to sink free throws into the hoop of a VW Beetle attired in Spalding basketball leather.
I got a couple of parade watchers with me today. These are mine too. What did you like about the parade so far, Weston? Did you like Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew you'd like Spider-Man. And the fire trucks?
Yeah.
What's your favorite part?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah. What's your favorite part?
Spider-Man was coming, and I saw him, and I waved at him, and he waved at me.
And he waved back at you?
Diane, I think you should introduce him now that you're on camera.
Okay, this is Waverly. Is that you, Waverly? You see? Look, wave right out there. Wave at Meemaw. Okay, Weston, wave at Meemaw real quick.
He's
hidden behind there.
He's too short.
He's too short. You're going to have to grow a little bit before you can be a TV person, Weston.
Did you on
All right.
Yeah, let's watch the rest of the parade, okay? Look who's coming now.
Down on the street is another marching band, and it's the Grants High School Junior ROTC, the Marine Corps Junior ROTC from Grants, New Mexico in western New Mexico.
I always bring my kids every year to the fair, and you and I have been doing this parade for 8 years now, Howard.
Yes, long time.
A long time. Long before the kids came along.
They're having a ball, too.
There he goes. That's right. Here comes the Marine Junior ROTC band from Grants High School. Rather, not a band, a group from Grants High School.
This, of course, includes the flag and drill team from Grants High School. You know, that's a pretty good program. Many high schools have it. It teaches a lot of young men and women self-discipline, self-responsibility, and really gives them a purpose for being,
a service,
for their education.
Service to country, service to community, service to themselves.
We're shooting these scenes live in the parade here on this beautiful Saturday in September, right in front of Russell's Gallery and Studio. Getting a pretty clear view of just what's going on in the parade. They're all marched in that direction, kind of a kickoff of the 1997 State Fair itself, one of the greatest shows, certainly probably the biggest show in New Mexico each year.
I'd say so, because it runs for 17 straight days, and every day they get crowds and crowds and crowds of people.
Now we have a different group coming into view here in red and white.
Also from Grants, this is a flag team, the high school flag team.
I believe this is their second time of marching in the parade. School colors, of course, are red, black, and white, and the school mascot is a pirate.
In New Mexico?
That's what it says here. And you'll see right behind them in just a moment, Universal Miss Gina Fresquez in a Model T Ford. Grand Supreme Queen dressed in her white party dress with parasols. I don't see the parasols. Must have left them at home.
The little bitty one with her.
Beautiful. The
Highland High School Marching Band coming into view now. This is the Hornet Marching Band. Under the direction of Paul Blakely. The Highland Band is assisted by brass technician Dan Powers and percussion specialist Dave Edwards.
Highland High School, of course, right here in Albuquerque. Another school with a great deal of pride.
What you saw as our cameraman went by were a couple of band mothers out misting down the players and giving them a quick sip of water.
Well, you know, I don't know about you, but you get kind of dry when you either talk.
Sure.
Same thing happens when you're with a horn or trumpet.
All right. Let's go to a break now, and we'll be back with more of our live coverage from the 1997 New Mexico State Fair. Stay with us.
Well, we're back live at the New Mexico State Fair, and you know, we mentioned, of course, there are always beautiful queens in the parade, and horses, and wagons, and floats. We have yet to mention the fair itself with the livestock exhibitors. These are youngsters who have really worked hard.
They really have. They spend a lot of time throughout the year making sure that they feed and care and nurture those animals before they bring them out here. And
yeah, I think the junior livestock sale is going to be at 1 o'clock on September 12th. What is that, next week? And there's a lot of
Friday.
Months of care for steers, lamb, and the pigs and dairy cattle. And the top prize winners are led through the sale ring where premium prices are bid by supporters. And the sale grossed last year $283,000. And the top buyer, of course, was Tom Bolak's B Square Ranch of Farmington. But it's a very exciting event, and originally this was the idea of a fair so that all of the people throughout the area could come in with their animals and show them off.
What the crowd was clapping at is one of our crew members pitched a water bottle about how many feet in the air up to the guy who's
about 25 feet, and he caught it.
He did.
Well,
it took 2 tries.
Two tries. Well, he got thirsty too.
But that's how you're getting those bird's eye views from our cameraman way up high.
Right. Here's a bird's eye view of a float coming on through, gaily decorated with lots of color. The wish for peace.
You know, you were talking about the livestock sale. When I was in high school, and I knew a lot of the FFA kids, and they spent so much time with these animals that they became big pets. Even if it was a pig or a calf or a lamb, it was almost like a pet to them. And so a lot of the girls would just stand in the arena and cry.
I know, there's a lot of
on
tears
the day
shed.
that they had to sell them. And then, of course, the prices go up that much more when the kids are crying.
Now, that's not a real Dalmatian you're looking at.
I don't
but
think
he's
so.
Close enough, close enough. Kate might have a real one. I don't know. Kate, what have you got down there?
Hi, Howard. I'm down here in the crowd. As you can see, we're at Chama and Central, which is pretty close to the beginning of the parade, and it is just still coming. For as far as I can see up the road, there's still more floats coming down. I've got a couple of little girls here who are here for not the first time. You guys were here. You've been here before, right?
Yeah.
How old are you?
See, they're right here.
Oh, what's that? Princesses? You were telling me before that was your favorite thing, right? How come?
Mama. They look really pretty.
Oh, because they look really pretty? Which ones were you looking at before? Not these princesses. Were there some others that you were seeing?
Yeah, there was the princesses and princes.
Is that's your favorite part?
Yeah.
You guys come out every single year?
Yeah. Yeah.
You look forward to it? You going to the...
Just her friend though.
Oh, you're just her friend? Are you going to the state fair this year?
Yeah.
Have you been there yet?
Yeah.
What'd you think of that?
It was fun.
Okay, well, great. Go. I'm sure you'll go back to the state fair again sometime in the next. You got 15 more days. So. What? You were on TV just a second ago. Right now, we're going to go to a station break, and we'll be back live from the parade in just a minute.
And back to live coverage of the 1997 New Mexico State Fair Parade. How about some trivia? Where on the fairgrounds can you find an actual moon rock, Diane?
I don't know, but the Space Expo is a pretty good guess.
That's pretty good. That's at Main Street and Heritage Avenue. How tall is the Sky Coaster?
Beats me. I couldn't even tell you how far up the cherry picker was a minute ago.
It says 80 feet, and I want to know who measured it.
Uh-huh.
Where can you find out if a human can really sweat like a pig?
Probably at the petting zoo, maybe?
Well, it's an animal tours, and it's hosted by New Mexico State University College of Agriculture and Home Economics. Well, think of all the things you can do at the state fair. There's a nice little wagon there.
We just saw the Sunmobile go by. I'm trying to think of the name of it. Roadrunner from New Mexico Institute of Mining and Technology. We did a story on them earlier in the year as they did a cross-country race, the Sun Race 97. It's entirely built by the students, and it was a strange-looking vehicle, that yellow thing you saw go by earlier.
Can you imagine traveling across the country in this wagon and 4 mules?
I can't. I've thought about that many times. When you go across the country in New Mexico, there's so much rough terrain, and it's so beautiful, but I can't imagine what the first few people through here.
The mules are so strong and patient. They don't deserve some of the reputation they have
as being stubborn.
They just know what they're going to do, when they're going to do it, and they do it well.
That's not a bad trait.
Here comes some. Is it round dancers or square dancers or both? I don't know.
Square dancing is country. The New Mexico Square and Round Dance Association, and Central District Dancers.
Now, why do they call it square dancing when they're going in a circle?
I don't know.
You square through 3 hands, walking around. I swing over, lady, promenade for me. Bring along your paddle, I could leave my wreck behind. If you've got the money, honey, I got the time.
You know, our camera crew is doing a terrific job. This is a tough event to follow. They're right out in the middle of it with cords and cables, and
we should point out that some of them are standing in little boxes with about only 1 foot around them. Some are way up in the aerial basket.
Some are running around on the parade route right in the middle of the bands.
Right in the middle of it, and they don't know if someone's going to step over them. They're a courageous bunch. We're up here reasonably protected.
And they get up at like 4 and 5 in the morning to get out here to bring you this live coverage. Howard and I have the easy part. We just sit here and talk.
That's right. Speaking of talking, name 4 species of animals at the petting zoo. Aha! These are exotic. How about a zebra?
And there was a Watusi, I heard, and a tiger,
eland,
baby tiger.
Emu. An eland, of course, is a big antelope. Pot-bellied pigs. Emu is kind of like an ostrich.
A kangaroo.
European fallow deer, small deer, some exotic sheep, exotic goats, the African Watusi, the kangaroo, an oryx, camel, and llamas.
Have to get out there to see that.
Here's the Escobosa riding team. South 14, just east of Albuquerque. They've been around a long, long time. They've won 1st, 2nd, and 3rd trophies in New Mexico. The president, Tito Elwell, and the queen is Yvonne Mora.
Now,
they're, of course, over in Torrance County.
And right behind them, the guys in the white shirts that you're seeing now, those are actually the Sandoval County Sheriff's Posse members. Well, actually, the black ones behind the white ones are
the white shirts are from Escobosa.
Getting ahead of myself here.
The
white
black
ones,
shirts,
right, are the Sandoval County.
Right.
Back-to-back Sheriff's Posses today.
Hey.
Here comes the Sandoval County group.
Now, of course, they don't wear those bright uniforms and they're out in search and rescue.
Right. Just as the bands have all their distinct styles and colors of uniforms, each of the sheriff's posse also has a color and style of uniform that they wear in the parade each year.
Oh, by the way, how many Legos are in that Lego castle?
I don't have a clue. They were telling us if you guess, you get a prize.
I know, so I have no clue either. I don't know. Let's try 2,349.
Well, you know, those are the little bitty Legos.
Oh, yeah.
And my kids have the Duplos, which are a little bigger, but the little...
Let's change it. 10,249.
All right, that sounds better. You just heard the Rockin' Wranglers performing Western music that you used to hear by the Sons of the Pioneers. Win me, huh?
I think this is a prize. I don't know. Wait a minute. We better look and see. I don't think it's a truck we're going to win.
I think it's actually
there must
a
be
vehicle
something else
behind the truck.
connected with this. There are all sorts of things in the parade today. And
we've mentioned this 2 or 3 times today, but just in case you're at home wondering about the new programs that you expected to see today, we did do some programming changes today due to the coverage of Princess Diana's funeral. ABC's new Saturday morning schedule did not premiere. You can see brand spanking new Doug from 11:30 to 12:30 today, and then next Saturday, the 13th, you can see the premiere of Disney's 101 Dalmatians. That's at 9 o'clock, followed by the premiere of Disney's Jungle Cubs at 9:30 next Saturday. So you're not going to miss anything.
Rocking Rhythmics from Lincoln Mid School here in Albuquerque. By the way, if you feel like it, there's arm wrestling championships. That'll be September 13th.
I just lose.
Oh, okay. I'll stay out of that too. Oh, when was the first territorial fair?
Here in New Mexico. I don't know.
Oh, you remember.
Oh, yeah, it was way back in 1881,
yes,
right?
Yes, that's right.
That's a lot of years to be holding a fair in New Mexico.
The Rockin' Rhythmics, Eagle Ridge Mid School.
The Eagle Ridge drill team consists of 24 members, and
look at all the balloons.
They are presenting a Huck Finn parade. Yeah, they just let those go right in front of the judges panel. That was probably planned, huh?
Did you see what float that came from?
I didn't. Maybe we should go up to the front and ask Kate.
Boy, talk about counting them. Forget the Legos. Try to count those balloons.
Looks like Balloon Fiesta in miniature.
Yeah.
There's a good view of what the parade lineup looks like with people gathered on either side.
By the way, there's also a full-size replica of the Liberty Bell. Every state in the country has one. And the one will be at the New Mexico State Fair in the Western Heritage Square.
Just another of the float competitors.
We've seen some of the marching bands from like Zuni Pueblo, etc. and Jicarilla. How many pueblos are there in New Mexico?
19?
19, yes. It's quite a few of them.
Notice they progressed from 1910.
And then are the 2 reservations considered among that, or are those separate? 19 pueblos and 2 reservations, maybe?
I'm not sure of that, at least technically I'm not sure. But we're getting a lot of nice big trucks coming down the
They're pulling some of the floats that are competing in today's yesteryear, Back to the Country yesteryear float theme, which is the parade theme this year.
Some of these floats have been very well done. This is local 611 IBEW. And got I always call them gazebos. And maybe Kate has something going on down there. Kate, what's going on at that end of the parade?
Well, Howard, look who I found. Giggles? Is that the name? Giggles?
We're at the premier clowns of Old Town.
Or does that mean you're professional clowns? Or?
Well, some of our, but we do a lot of work for the community and we help the children and we have a great time.
That's great. How long have you been practicing to come out here?
I've been a clown for 4 years, but they've been doing it for many, many.
And what do you have to do to practice to be a clown?
Be happy and an optimist.
Well, that's easy, isn't it? Have a great time.
Thank you.
Howard and Diane.
Thank you, Kate. there's still much more of the fair to go. 163 different entries in this year. And we're a little over 2/3 of the way there, I think, today.
And we have another sheriff's posse that is coming into view. This time the colors appear to be black and white.
I think they're from Taos, the Taos County Sheriff's Posse. 24 active members and led by one of the youngest captains in the state, Ronnie Salazar.
By the way, for all the visitors who come to New Mexico to the State Fair Parade, it's worth the drive of taking a day or two and simply driving around the state and see what beautiful country we have to offer. Places like Taos, Santa Fe, and the northern portion of the state with the beautiful mountains.
This is the state 4-H leadership team. They're dressed in period costumes from 1911, the year that 4-H started in New Mexico. 4-H is an organization designed to develop young people. First club had 7 members. 4-H has grown since then to be 50,000 strong in New Mexico. And now you're watching the Sandia High School Marching Band. Followed by the Sandia High School Air Force Junior ROTC. And we're going to cut to a break and be right back with more of our live coverage of the New Mexico State Fair.
Okay, returning live to our coverage here on KOAT-TV of the 1997 State Fair Parade. We have some more riders coming in, this time from Belen High School.
There's our one of our cameramen perched on top one of our live trucks off to the right of the screen. As you see a great big shot down the
if you see that
route.
Bright yellow shirt, that is one of our people precariously perched somewhere.
Coming into view is the Belen High School Marching Band, the Intensity Band. They're going to travel to Washington, D.C. on June 3rd to play at the White House. The band received the invitation last year and is now committed to a 98 performance. They've received numerous awards on the district and state level, and including the Grand Championship at the Longhorn Festival hosted in Dallas.
Yeah, they got first place in the categories of concert band, jazz band, concert band, jazz band, and flag corps drill.
Pretty versatile group.
Belen High School. You know, you should never go hungry when you go to the fair. If you've been there, you know. There's over 100 food vendors, all kinds of food from Oriental, Greek, Cajun, German, Italian, oh yes, American now and then. Of course, it's New Mexican food, burritos, enchiladas at the Villa Hispania, and there's fry bread at the Indian Village, and would you believe there's a national best Spam recipe contest? Now, how many ways can you fix Spam?
Oh, I bet you can find plenty out there. I only know like one way.
Hey, there's a first place winner receives $100 and a chance at a grand national prize of $2,500. So
It's worth being creative then.
And to promote New Mexico's 5th food group, I thought it was our first. Chili. There's green chili stew, salsa, basic red chili sauce contest, 3 meals a day, 17-day fairs. Time to get started. Makes me hungry thinking about it.
You're seeing the Royal Dreams Car Club while we're talking here. They're from, I guess, all over. They've done a lot of work on their cars, and their theme is the 50s. Speaking of fair food favorites, what's yours, Howard? When you go out there, what's your favorite fair food? The thing you know you're not supposed to have, but you can't resist.
Well, I eat everything. I kind of like the big corn on the cob. I don't know why. I guess it's the smell, the aroma of everything cooking. You want to try everything out. So I start with the corn on the cob, and then I just get something here and something there until I'm too full to go on.
Make sure you get all 4 of the food groups, huh?
Oh, we have some riders coming into view here.
Getting a nice breeze coming through to cool things off. It's been pretty warm. I think it's warmer this Saturday than many of the
This
years
has
past.
been one of the warmest fair or parade days we've seen. Trying to find out where this group is from. We can't quite do it, but they're doing very well. Let's look at the next group coming up here. Looks like clowns, unless they dress that way every day. An Old Town Optimist Club, of course.
Sometimes it's difficult because there are so many people in the parade that they get a little out of order, and you just kind of have to guess which group they are as they go by.
And I think sometimes, like a band may not quite have all of its members in line, and they'll move a group ahead of them to keep the parade going.
The premier clowns of Old Town.
Well, now we do have a marching band coming into view, white and blue.
The Penasco Junior High School Marching Band. Actually, junior and senior high school band. They're from beautiful Taos County. They're under the direction of Mr. Eloy Roybal. And they're the reigning 1995 and 96 AA State Fair Parade Marching Band champions. Hoping to make it 3 years in a row, I'm sure.
The Penasco Junior High School Marching Band. Now here comes the Shiprock High School Marine Corps Junior ROTC.
Second year for the ROTC program there at Shiprock, and it's their first year to march in the parade, so welcome. This is a 100% Navajo unit.
Shiprock, it's about as far west as you can get in New Mexico.
Those strange sounds that you're hearing are a bull promoting the Santa Fe Rodeo. This is the tractor that you see is Howard Say's antique tractor, 1930 John Deere Model GP. It's been restored to original condition.
An old John Deere. Gee, doesn't look that old to me. I'll bet Kate has something to talk about down there. Kate?
Hey, Howard and Diane. You know, I was looking around the crowd and I found that only 2 guys in ties. You got ties? At least you have short sleeves on, right?
Yeah, we're kind of hockey wear short sleeves.
Where are you from?
We're from Utah, both of us.
And why the tie?
Well, we're missionaries from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
And so you're just taking a break? Or?
Well, we live right back here behind, and we heard all the noise, so we thought we'd come out and see what was going on. So
we were talking about Utah. You have a state fair, right?
Look, here's a couple of other missionaries. Yeah, we do have a state fair.
Anything like this?
No, it's about half the size, really. It's nothing like this, yeah.
And no parade?
No parade.
So what do you think of the parade?
I think it's great. I like the lowriders. We don't get many lowriders in Utah. So.
Great. Well, you guys need to get out of the ties and relax a little and enjoy yourselves. Enjoy the state fair.
Yeah, right.
I'll toss it back up to you, Howard and Diane.
Thanks, Kate. I bet they don't have too many lowriders in Utah.
Well, here it comes. Let's talk about riders. Sky Cycles, high rider, bicycle, and unicycles. They're made from regular bicycles. I don't see how well, I guess they'd have to be made from regular, but what do they do? Find one with a big wheel and one with a small wheel?
They're modified for sure. I have enough trouble riding a real bicycle.
It's absolutely amazing, I mean, how they ride those.
High riders and unicycles, sky cycles.
Speaking of old timers, the Western Heritage Square, of course, will have the fiddling contest.
Oh, that should be good.
I believe that's the 13th and 14th, and the fair's barbershop quartet, so there's music there. The Western Heritage Square is kind of patterned after turn of the century town. Shows younger generations, real young people like you, Diane.
Yeah.
How people of the Old West like me lived through the blacksmith, quilting, and wood carving and canning demonstrations, covered wagons, antique carousels. Speaking of old-fashioned, look at this one here. What have we got? It looks like a...
New Mexico Carriage Association's entry,
yes.
I believe. And
it's an old-time wedding of the 1880s. That was even before my time.
And this is the lady who's looking for a husband in the covered wagon behind the wedding crew.
Looking for a husband? I don't know if she'll find one in that getup.
Husband or bust, huh?
Now look what we've got here. We have automobiles with a mind of their own. I don't know how much time or money, but certainly a lot of skill and ingenuity.
A lot of both, yes.
Goes into, I don't know if you can say, well, not putting that together. That little guy did all right, but it's those cars behind them that are coming up.
Well, I guess that the bicycles are part of the car club to kind of show that they are using their creativity in other ways too.
They really are.
This is the Bedrock Car Club. It was founded in 1986, and it represents a positive role model. It's supposed to for youth of Albuquerque to say no to drugs and to stay in school.
That's an important message too.
Bedrock has been a long-standing club and second generation of members now. And they host the Teen Fest, an event in the city of Albuquerque sponsors for teens of all cultures, so he play a big part in that every year. There are a lot of cars from that club in this parade today too.
Cars and...
Next, the Democratic Party of New Mexico.
Well, we'll return then to our coverage of the 1997 State Fair Parade in just a moment. And returning now to the 1997 State Fair Parade live on KOAT-TV. We're looking at the Alameda Riders with their beautiful white shirts and blue vests. And these participants in this parade have won over 42 trophies.
They're one of the most colorful of the sheriff's posses and riding groups from around the state that we see every year.
I know there's some slight variation, but it's almost like they almost match the horses. It's a colorful sight, just one of the many colorful sights of the State Fair Parade. Speaking of colorful, if you want to see Elvis, Marilyn Monroe, James Dean, in wax that is, you can see him at the State Fair Parade. Who wrote this line? At the State Fair this year, there's 17 life-size exhibits at the Celebrity Showplace Wax Museum. And where on the fairgrounds is it, Howard? Well, I'm trying to find out here. It's on the
Natural Resources Building on Sawyer Avenue.
Admission is $1. Someone wrote here, you can't hold a candle to them. Of course they melt, why not? Let's see, what else can you see? Arnold Schwarzenegger, Clint Eastwood, Sylvester Stallone in wax, Madonna, Elvira, oh, well, Oakley, Garfield, Bart Simpson, Batman, and Ace.
Now we'll have to go if Batman's out there.
Wax, I love wax museums. You can sit and stare at them and they don't get nervous. All right, more riding groups coming up here. You know, the parade has really been very well managed this year. They've moved right along, which helps us, but also helps the thousands of people sitting here along Central watching it.
What you're hearing is a group called Monique and Baby Roses. It's a giant jukebox with a young group of musicians called Baby Roses. Their theme will be a return to yesteryear without drugs and violence.
Everybody put your hands together!
This group of youngsters performs throughout the Southwest, from Disneyland to Star Search to the MGM Grand in Las Vegas.
Now we got that Bernalillo, of course, Sheriff's Department, their mounted search and rescue group here. Now those are their working uniforms.
I think so. You know, if I were I'm not a very good horse rider, so if I were going to do that, I think I'd rather have one of those helmets than a cowboy hat.
Something practical, right?
Yes. I have to leave the riding to my husband. He's pretty good. Bernalillo County Sheriff's Department's Mounted Search and Rescue, all volunteer group. They spend hours of time training in order to search and find anyone who gets themselves temporarily dislocated or lost.
I guess that's one way of putting it. Don't forget when you're at the fair to stop in at the Native American Indian Village. They have lots of exhibits there. A variety of traditional native dances, traditional art demonstrations, contemporary artists and music, and food and fry bread. I have been known to stand in the fry bread line for at least an hour.
Just gotta have it.
Well, even if I didn't get there, I'd love to smell it cooking. It's terrific.
This is the Rio Rancho All-American Soapbox Derby, or at least their float event. It's celebrating its 10th anniversary this year.
Yeah, they're all the soapbox. I don't know what you'd call these. You can't call them vehicles or just soapbox, I guess is the only way to describe them. You know, they go pretty fast downhill.
It's one of those things that Mom and Dad get to help with every year.
Here's the Los Lunas High School marching band now. Red, white, and blue.
The Tiger Band. I actually think that's orange, the Tigers.
75 marchers. The unit's total of 180 members. The Los Lunas High School Junior ROTC program is entering into its 5th year of existence. And the parade formation does include the color guard, the battalion staff section, and parts of the unit's drill team.
The drill team of this band has gotten into the yesteryear theme. You see they've got the big full circle skirts and records in their ponytails. They have their ponytails lipped through the hole of the record. I guess that's one use for old records, huh?
Well, if you're wondering how all of this started, it was in 1881, called the New Mexico Agricultural, Mineral, and Industrial Exposition. It was the first territorial fair.
I'm glad they don't call it that anymore. We'd never get that.
No, it didn't do too well anyhow. There was heavy wind and there was rain and mud. See, I was not forecasting the weather then.
Oh, good.
It was west of what is now Old Town, the 5-day event. Only 5 days then, had a 3-room adobe building that housed exhibits, including minerals, women's crafts, fruits, and vegetables. That was it. Well, it's come a long way.
Sure has. Well, we'll be back with more of our coverage of the New Mexico State Fair live in just a moment.
All right, live once again in the 1997 State Fair Parade, brought to you live here on KOAT TV, right here on Central in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Lots of things going on at the fair after the parade ends. Of course, this Saturday, there'll be live horse racing at 1, the Junior Llama Show at the same time. There's sheep to shawl. If you haven't seen that, you should see that. Sheep to shawl dyeing demonstration. They actually shear the sheep, use the wool, dye it, comb it, card it, I guess is the correct way, and make the actual product, whether it's a shawl or a blanket or what have you. We're looking at a beautifully decorated crowd here, I would say.
Baila Baila Dance Academy's float, New Mexico's largest folkloric dance academy. They appear in the Pam Tillis video, Mi Vida Loca, and has performed throughout the U.S., including Disney World in Florida. It's decorated this year to reflect the Back to Country Yesteryear theme. Costumes from the period 1900 through 1950. That's a pretty big group.
Good group, a happy group, and a colorful group.
And there's another float full of them. There are 2 floats of them.
Too many to get on one, I guess.
And they're followed up after this group by another float from the same Baila Baila Performing Academy. And they were actually dancing on the back of that float just a moment ago.
Dance, dance, baya baya.
We're getting close to the end of our parade this year. 163 entries from all over New Mexico, and many of those people will now break down their band uniforms and their parades and their parade floats and go on out and enjoy the fair. Pretty good dancers to do that on a moving float.
Doing very, very well. Ponderosa Riding Club coming up. Family-oriented, perform at rodeos and parades across the state. They also perform in trail rides and do real things like search and rescue efforts. Ponderosa Riders.
Torrance County Sheriff Search and Rescue coming up somewhere. And who are these Queen candidates? They're getting some whistles from the crowd.
Well, the crowd knows what they appreciate. Of course, there's general parking, Monday through Friday. The price, though, is $4 at the fair. Weekends, Saturday and Sunday, does go to $6. Preferred parking is also $6 Monday through Friday, and $8 on weekends. Here comes another beautiful marching band. I believe it's a Manzano High School Royal Guard band.
Royal Guard has consistently placed in the top 3 of the pageant of bands. Manzano's Royal Guard is the only Albuquerque band to win the Zia State Marching Fiesta. They
always get a good hand, and that's terrific. It makes these youngsters feel good with the people that come out here to see them.
It's a lot of work. I was in band in high school, and I've said this before. The first year, all I did was march. I couldn't play and march at the same time. It took a while to get the marching down, and then I could play again. Let's head on out to the head of the parade, where it's about to wrap up, where Kate Snow is. Kate?
Diane, yeah, sweeping up the rear out here, we've got the street sweepers. Bernalillo County and the city of Albuquerque are bringing up the tail end of the parade. And a lot of people are starting to already leave, but I've got to admit, I've never been here before. This is a lot of fun. But I'm going to ask an expert about how the parade was this year. There's a family here all the way down from Espanola, right?
Yes.
You come every year?
I usually come every year, so.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you to be the judge. What did you think of this year?
I thought it was fairly good this year. A lot more floats, more colorful. Not too many politicians were involved this time, so it makes it more adventurous.
And you guys don't mind making that drive down? You came down this morning, didn't you?
We came down this morning, and after we got up about 3 o'clock and watched the funeral this morning, and then we came on down after that. But this is a tradition for my family. We always come down for the state fair.
And this guy's what, 8 months old?
8 months old. It's Wyatt.
First time, right?
First time.
Well, he looks like he enjoyed it.
Yeah, we're going to head on over to the fair now and look around and see what we can find.
Okay, well, you've got a wonderful day for it. Howard Morgan ordered that up for you, just
All right.
specials.
Thank you.
Have a great time.
Thanks.
Diane and Howard, back to you.
Thank you, Kate.
Thanks, Kate.
It's nice to get a ground view of what's happening in the
Yes, it
parade.
is.
The people watching it as well. We're looking at right below us there, the Manzano High School Navy Junior ROTC unit just going by. They consist of a color guard, armed and unarmed drill teams, and a main body. That includes many new cadets who just started learning military drill at the start of the school.
I think we have another performing group coming up on that colorful balloon arch behind the truck.
And look at that, the balloons. Look at the balloons there. We can't quite, the Island Dancers. Scenery is a volcano, a palm tree, water, and black and white hay to depict yesteryear. A big banner with "Back to the Country Yesteryear" written in Hawaii. Okay.
And also the Susanna Alta Vista recording artist performers. Musical, musical, musical. That's what they're all about.
How many balloons are on that, and who blew them up?
500.
That's a nice looking float.
They were performing Spanish and country music. Look at the bubbles. Balloons and bubbles. See the bubbles going up?
Yes, bubbles in the sky. Well, we have more floats coming up here, and still another marching band coming up into view.
I think this is the Martin Luther King Jr. Elementary Drill Team, and they've won many competitions. They're little gal cowgirls today, anyway, for the parade. They'll steal your hearts.
Followed closely by the El Dorado Marching Band, Golden Eagles. The El Dorado High School Band was selected the 1997 Honor Band for New Mexico, as well as the State Honor Jazz Band. They are continually a finalist at the Zia Marching Band competition and won 3rd place in last year's State Fair Parade. The El Dorado High School Marching Band.
Sound good. One of the stronger sounding bands that we've heard go by.
It really is. And it's a very enthusiastic group. They work hard. Well, all of the high schools work hard every year.
Coming up after the drill team from El Dorado's marching band, they're part of the El Dorado marching group, is the tail end of the parade.
And the tail end of the parade always has the flashing lights, the emergency vehicles.
This year it's the Bernalillo County Fire Department, including the chief's vehicle.
There'll be fire trucks, rescue team.
New emergency services unit, which is the first time in the parade. It'll be coming up too, that new unit.
And there's a specially designed vehicle. It's a 24-foot long self-contained unit. That's the new one. It's supporting New Mexico's Bravest. It's a kind of a mobile command center that has on board medical facilities for the treatment of firefighters.
We certainly hope that you've enjoyed our live coverage of the New Mexico State Fair. As we mentioned earlier, it takes a big crew from Action 7 News and KOAT to bring this to you every year. And a lot of people out there, you see Howard and I, but you don't see all the photographers and equipment crews and our satellite van and our directors and our people back at the station, and we couldn't do it at all without any of them.
It all comes together right here, and we've had a great time bringing you live coverage of the 1997 State Fair Parade. This is Howard Morgan. Thanks for watching and have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining Action 7 News for exclusive live coverage of the 1997 New Mexico State Fair Parade.